So before I start talking about this, I think a fair warning needs to be said. The following video contains very unsettling topics that I'm going to be talking about when doing this little review or however you want to call it. So, fair warning. God knows I'm going to need this. So, let's talk. Okay, so the movie starts off with this guy named Sydney. Okay. He is going into his son's room, I guess to call him down for dinner or something. And he catches his son, whose name is Isaiah, by the way. And he catches his son doing a dramatic reenactment of Chris Brown and Rihanna, with starring his left hand as Chris Brown and his Schmeat as Rihanna. What I'm saying is that he called him master. Feeling very embarrassed because he caught his son in such an act, he tells Isaiah, "It's all right, son. It's perfectly natural." He then leaves the room. If he stayed a little bit longer, he would have realized that his son was playing Wee Lumberjack to a picture of Sydney.
Holy shit! Ew!
Oh, buckle up. It's gonna get worse. We then cut to a scene where we meet the whole family. There's Sydney, there's Isaiah, and then there's the mom named Joan. And they're trying to take a family photo. And while they're trying to take the family photo, Isaiah is just staring at his father with such awe and wonder, like he just met Jesus Christ, his favorite basketball star and a movie star all at the same time. Now, you would think that's kind of adorable because, oh my God, he has such admiration for his father. But then you remember what he was doing earlier. And now it's just really awkward. And now time travel. We then cut to a now grown up Isaiah, and there's this wedding reception. He got married, and everybody is all happy, and everyone is congratulating the new wedded couple. Meanwhile, Joan is trying to figure out where her son and her husband are, and she's trying to search all around for them. And she finds them in another room where, oh God, Joan ends up finding both of them, where is Isaiah is trying to do the old soul stealer through the sausage on his father. Joan, completely traumatized by what she just saw, pretends the whole thing never happened because she totally didn't see her son give his father, her husband, the grapefruit technique. And fortunately for Isaiah and unfortunately for Sydney, they didn't see her either. More time travel! Later that night, Sydney was finishing up his memoir he was writing called Cocoon Man Confessions by Sydney Johnson. And he typed it up and finished it, and he was going to put it on her pillow. But unfortunately, Isaiah found it, and then he got into an argument with his father and tells him not to print any more copies. We then cut to 2010 at a New Year's Eve party, and Isaiah is getting more and more irrational in his behavior. it's shown throughout the movie that he is slowly but surely like becoming more and more unhinged, and it culminates into an argument with his wife. I think her name's Marina. I don't know, because she plays like zero importance throughout the entirety of the plot. But during all that, we see Sydney in the bathtub listening to self help tapes because he's so fucked up from all what's been going on with him that this is the only way to calm him, to bring some sort of peace throughout his troubled soul and mind. But unfortunately for Sydney, peace isn't an option when Isaiah's around, because Isaiah breaks through the door and he Joan, in the meanwhile, is in the bedroom, overhears the screaming, and she just turns the volume up.
I am having a very bad day. I am in no mood. Today.
Okay, no. You want to know the fuck part about that whole thing? It's already fucked up, right? No. Here's the here the thing, bitch. After all that was done and he finished, he he literally looks at his father and says, "Write that in your book." Like, ain't no motherfucking way.
Oh, hell no! Hell no!
What kind of shit? What the fuck? I swear to God, man. The next day, Sydney tries to sneak out of the house with another copy of The Cocoon Man, but it leads into another confrontation with his son, who proceeds to gaslight him. Sydney, obviously terrified as hell, runs out into the streets in an attempt to escape, but he gets hit by an oncoming van and he dies. This fucking movie really went there. Then at Sydney's funeral, Joan finally confronts Isaiah after spending the majority of the time blocking everything out, finally confronts Isaiah because she speculates that the abuse started 10 years ago during his prom night. And she remembers Sydney crying for hours about it. But Isaiah tells her that she's delusional. And basically, she called out Isaiah for being the killer, which, I mean, she kind of got a point. But that just pisses Isaiah out, and he lashes out and basically said he could love Sydney better than she ever did. And then he tries to like strangle his mom. Like, what the fuck? Hey y'all, Post Prince here. I made a little mistake. So he never strangled her. I mean, it doesn't matter because holy fuck, but I feel like I had to like fix that part. He never strangled her. What ended up happening was she slapped him, he backhanded her. She tried to gouge his eyes out. He gave her the Evander Holyfield right hook, and then she stabbed him with the letter opener in the shoulder. So everything else I'm saying after this should be quite alright. The only other thing is that the ending scene with the fire poker, she just kept stabbing him until he died. But she did whack him in the face, like right at the eye. So had to just make sure of that. Okay, we can go back now. He then tries to force her head into the fireplace. Like, he literally tried to force his mom face first into a fireplace. Joan grabs a fire iron, those little fire poker things, and just stabs him in the goddamn eye and kills him. After that, Joan takes the last copy of Cocoon Man and she throws it into the fireplace as the credits roll, and you see her sobbing as that copy is being burned, forever taking this fucked up, twisted secret to her grave. The end.
What the hell was that?
Nah, I need more. Nah, I'm gonna need more than that. I'm definitely gonna need more because what the what the fuck? So that was the strange thing about the Johnsons. If I were to rate this movie, I would give it 2 giant middle fingers out of 10. This is a very infamous movie. It is very controversial. It is polarizing for everyone that has ever watched it. It is the movie that got Ari Aster noticed by many a people, including A24. And for those that don't know who Ari Aster is the man who went on to create such movies like Midsummer and Beau is Afraid and the more recognizable Hereditary. So Ari basically came up with the idea of this movie when he was spending time at AFI, and somewhere down the line he pretty much said, what is taboo and what isn't? Personally, to me, this movie goes beyond taboo and it hits unrealistic, especially with the role reversal of the son being the one that takes advantage of the father, because it's always the father that does that, or the mother. It's always the parental figure that breaks the sacred trust between their child in the most horrific way possible. To see it done in that way is very unrealistic, but it also kind of cripples him in the sense of it plays up to this idea that it was only done for shock value. Some of the other taboos that were going on, beside some of the other polarizing opinions about this, besides the fact that it was a white man writing for an all black cast, some of it was also how sexual abuse in such a way, especially to an incestuous degree, was used to cover up a lack of story, and it was used for shock value. Now, you can have an opinion on that, but I also feel like there have been moments where I think this was used for shock value, just particularly for this scene alone. I can't take this damn movie seriously or feel some type of way when the sun is busting through the door like the goddamn Kool-Aid man. Like, what the like, bruh, what the fuck? Again, personally, I was disturbed a lot of times. This was that one short film that took me damn near an hour to finish because there were, and it's short. I mean, it's a short film, but it took me an hour to finish it because there were moments where I literally had to stop watching it because I was floored by the fact that somebody thought, hey, let's put this in here and see what happens. This movie is a great example of how sometimes you shouldn't let your intrusive thoughts win and you should keep that shit to yourself. Hey, what do I know? he fucking went on to make Hereditary and make a lot of movies for A24. So I guess it fucking worked out somehow. That was it. I'll probably do more of these. Maybe. Tell me what you think. I'll see you guys next time.